Hey guys, welcome to our weekly Bacon Cast series. My name is Francis. I'll be one of your hosts this week. Joining me will be Nick,
Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Thomas,
Aloha.
and we have a guest this week. Bricks is joining us. It's his second time.
It is indeed.
Welcome back, Burks.
Yep, it's nice to have you.
Who invited him back?
No one.
I mean,
He just showed up.
Bricks. Yay.
He just showed up today. So what game are we looking at today?
Doom 3 BFG edition.
Awesome.
What does BFG mean?
What is
He
it?
probably legitimately doesn't know that, actually.
Big fucking gun. Although they made some other stupid acronym when they made the movie Doom, but that's what it originally stood for.
Okay, so basically there is a gun at the very end of the game that you get, and it's the BFG. It's basically this like giant plasma nuke shooter thing.
Pretty much you shoot it, and anything in line of sight gets damaged by it, and it does a shit ton of damage.
It basically gets disintegrated. Like the smaller mobs just like die.
But yeah, it's like all but 3 or 4 mobs get
the big guys.
shot. Yeah.
So it's basically like the god gun in the game. It's called BFG, and yeah, it's actually good that you should know this because everyone does.
Interesting.
Anyways, so the reason we're doing Doom 3 this week is because Doom was released this Friday, and we want to show a little bit of older Doom. Like I'm pretty sure that not many people have played Doom 3 that came out in 2004, which was 12 years ago. Have you guys played Doom 3?
I haven't played any Doom, so no.
I played Painkiller, the unofficial Doom 3.
Yeah, I played Painkiller too, but it's nothing like Doom. It's
more like Doom than Doom 3 from what I've seen.
Doom 3 is a horror game.
Yeah, but Doom 1 and 2 were not horror games.
They kind of were.
They were murder simulators, just murdering a bunch of dudes, and that's what Painkiller did extremely well.
They were kind of scary if you were playing as like an 8-year-old like I was doing.
Okay, but that doesn't make it a horror.
Well,
wait, so am I going to get scared?
Yeah, you're right. It was a little
I
scary.
hide under my covers.
It wasn't like Alone in the Dark. It wasn't designed as a horror game.
Right.
Really. It was just like, let's throw in entertaining demon monsters as enemies.
It's pretty hard to scare people with a 2-dimensional sprite that like moves at like 5 FPS.
I'll cite Alone in the Dark again. That was a scary game first time.
I will say this. I never played Doom 3 when it first came out, kind of for that reason. Is if it was more of just kind of like a run and gun, shoot a bunch of demons in the face, like, okay, I probably would have played it, but because they went the whole kind of actual horror game aspect, I passed it. So
yeah, that's what I gathered. That's what it looked like whenever I saw videos of it. It looked like it looked like it could still be a decent game. It just didn't look like Doom to me.
Right. You know what? Let's just jump right in. Let's see some of the video. All right. This week we actually pre-recorded our Doom 3 video. Just allows Nick to actually talk to us instead of play a game.
Which is lame, by the way. No, I'm kidding.
Because you just want to play a game.
You don't want to talk to us. You just want to play the game. You're like, I'll be on this podcast.
Exactly.
Say 2 sentences and just focus on playing the game.
Well, I aim for like 4. All right, that's like my goals. 4 comments.
That's what on
are
average.
the graphics really bad behind the words, or is that just me?
Yes, they're supposed to be like
that's a 2004 cinematic, man.
You also got to remember it's 2004.
We didn't have
top of
3
the line.
gig HD videos back then.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I mean,
like I bet you
the graphics
this video was
be
like
a couple
50 megs.
generations old, but
yeah.
Yeah, and these graphics would be just before the big graphical leap of the last generation of consoles. I don't know about you guys, but I don't notice too much of a graphical difference between last generation and the current generation.
There's a huge difference in terms of resolutions.
Well, it depends on the game too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing like like a Nintendo game, those games weren't really built for graphics. But if you look at, well, okay, we're gonna talk about Call of Duty a bit later, right? There's a big difference in graphics from one Call of Duty to the next when they switch engines, at least. So when you went from Black Ops 2 to their first game in the new engine, which was Advanced Warfare, there was a huge difference in graphics fidelity. You remember in Advanced Warfare, Kevin Spacey's face, they like 3D scanned his face into the thing and it looked somewhat realistic. And they used subsurface scattering for the skin. So there's multiple textures, semi-transparent texture layers that create the skin, so the light can actually go into the skin
this dialogue.
and bounce back out.
I know. Wait, what do you mean by switch engines? Like, I've always heard people
Sorry
say
about
that, but like, what do you mean?
Francis. I just kind of like started zoning
No,
out as soon as you just started
it's fine.
citing, specifications.
It wasn't for you; it's for the viewers.
Wait, but what do you mean by an engine?
An engine is what developers build the game on.
Like
stop,
that means
stop
every time
patrolling, Thomas.
No. Every time
Like-
they switch, they'll learn a whole new set of programs.
Yes,
Like, that sounds
that's
horrible.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Like back in the day,
But
when
engines are limited
built-
in what they can do. So you need to create new ones to be able to handle the new hardware and
newer
be able to
then
graphics,
I
high
gotta-
resolution.
I don't want to be a game developer anymore. Then I learn a new tool every year.
Well, you have to keep up
You're
with
not
technology.
learning-
You don't necessarily have to learn a new engine. Like engines can last, a span of time, but you have to keep
You're not
updating
learning-
new elements.
You're not learning like new languages because like most games are programmed in a handful of languages, like C and whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to learn the engine itself and how to optimize the game. So in order to do that, that affects your programming, how you program, based on the engine, based on whatever it's good or bad at. I'm not a game developer, so I can't speak in depth about this.
Why does he sound so depressed? So don't lose it. I see here that Sergeant. Sorry.
Let me see.
Is your name Snipe Whitecase?
What?
It said Snipe Whitecase on the pamphlet thingy you picked up.
No, I don't know how it knows my name.
Is that your Steam name or something?
No.
Maybe that was just talking about someone else called Snipe, and it wasn't him.
It just happened to be.
Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly. So something that Doom has done really well over the years is Doom is different from other FPS shooters, especially modern FPS shooters. Doom doesn't have any regeneration or health regeneration, no shields, nothing like that. There is health and armor, but if you get damaged, it's permanent damage until you pick up new health and new armor. And also, Doom is based 100% on level design. You pick up keys, everything you do is based on like you unlock a certain area, you move there, and you look over and you'll see like a new door. And that's all based on level design. You're still there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
does Doom,
No,
I'm curious
I'm-
actually, does
I'm
Doom
asleep.
3 not have regenerating health? They continue on with the
Yep.
health packs and everything, or
Yes, you will see me multiple times get very low in health and start. I was like, oh god, I need help before I die.
oh
Yeah,
all
you-
right. Now
you start-
I'm,
you start
I'm
running
glad
away.
they kept that element.
They
But I guess
did
regenerating
add-
health didn't become like that prevalent until like around. I guess it was around the time of Doom 3. That was when most FPSs were having
I think-
regenerating health.
I think Halo was one of the
Yep,
first
that's true.
big ones.
Yeah, it had a
Yeah, it
partial
was.
regener. It had the shield.
Yeah,
and
it
then
had to shield that regen.
Call of
health.
Duty 3 had regenerating health.
Oh.
That was the first one I think had one health for the Call of Duty series.
The
When did that come out? Around the same time?
That was 2005 or 6. I think it was
Hmm.
2006 actually. No, it was 2000. Okay, yeah. Well, 2007 was early 2000 or late. Was it late 2007? Was Call of Duty 4? I think it was 2006, 5 or 6. I have to look it up.
Yeah, like Quake and Unreal Tournament back then didn't have regenerating health. It was like flat HP, 100 HP.
This game does have it where you can find there's like health stations on the walls, so it's not like hidden health. They're not super common, but they are around.
Wait, so why are we punching a turkey here? I'm confused.
This is like mini arcade game.
Oh,
it's like a game in a game. It's
another playthrough. I went up to
those are the
really
original
high
Doom
score.
graphics.
I went like really high up to see if there's like a hidden thing if you unlocked a certain score, and nothing ever happened. I was kind of bummed. I wasted a lot of time.
It's okay. At least you tried.
Also, I just want to say for those watching that the reason why it's very twitchy is because in this type of game, when you hear noises, you need to spin around quickly and see what's going on around you, and so that's why like my camera's constantly moving.
You pointed the other way. You just went the wrong way.
Dude, I'm a rebel.
No, you see, in these types of games,
oh my goodness,
when they tell you to go left, you need to go right, because normally if you go in the other direction, there's going to be secret rooms, power-ups, weapons, and stuff that you're going to find that you're going to need later.
So the funny thing is, though, like it was actually a loop.
Yeah, I mean, modern FPSs don't have anywhere near the importance of exploration. That's actually something that I heard that recent id game, it was a few years ago, was their remake of the Ninja first-person shooter. I can't remember what it's called, actually. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, that one was from what I gather, was pretty nice because it felt like an old school FPS.
They did release Doom. They did release Doom this Friday.
I mean, that's probably why.
No, it was a remake of one of their other games.
I mean, that's probably why like Uncharted and Far Cry and stuff are so popular, is because of that open-endedness exploration. It's not
really Uncharted. You pretty much go here. You have a map, and it's like one direction pretty much.
I didn't listen to One Direction so long.
But they have like,
oh my
god.
I mean, there are some semi-open areas. What happened?
He made a One Direction comment.
No. Oh my god, yeah, I missed that. Thank God.
And now we're following a spider. Okay.
Yeah.
I bet you they can make that. Oh, I can't speak. They can make that in real life, or maybe that already exists. Kind of spider robot.
That's so easy to build.
Yeah, that would be so easy to build at this point.
Really? Okay, go build one. Show it to me.
Not for me, but for like actual engineers, asshole.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it right now.
What I thought. Well,
spider drone. Google.
So I think what you're talking about is, like, it goes back to what I was saying about level design, where, like, the level is designed in a way that it supports exploration, where it gives it rewards you for going somewhere you're not supposed to go, or that regularly it's off the path.
That's the game I was looking at. I was trying to remember. Shadow Warrior. Yeah, it wasn't by it. I think the original one was by id Software, or at least it was around the time of the mid '90s Doom clones.
I'm not sure if I've ever played that. So wait, what were you saying about it? What was your point?
Well, it's they remade it recently, a few years ago, and it was done people noted that it was done in the style of the original Doom, FPS exploration level design.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up afterwards. Actually, I can look it up now. What's it called again?
Shadow Warrior.
Sounds interesting.
So I can.
It was remade by Flying Wild Hog. Oh, it was made by 3D Realms. Yeah, 3D Realms. It's easy to make confused.
Yeah, I have the Steam page up right now on the stream.
Technicians should use cabinet code 396 to access them. End of log.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be a lot like lots of find hidden areas. That stuff has been largely missing.
Right.
Early 2000s.
Kind of cutting in and out. So let's get to our first topic. PlanetSide 2, the server smash.
That was a thing.
Yeah, it was a thing, pretty much. It
What
was
Steam page
server
for-
smash number 61 was took place on June 30th, and I took place in it. I think Nick was there.
Wait,
did
June?
you guys?
You mean May?
Or sorry,
What?
May
April.
30th, right?
April.
Oh, April 30th. Shit. Sorry about that. April 30th. And
You had one job.
So wait, did you guys take part in it?
I was there.
No, I did not. I wanted to,
I did
but
not.
I was busy with rehearsal.
All right. But I mean, you guys know what server smash is, right? We don't have to explain.
I've never actually played one, so I only vaguely know what it is. I should really play in one sometime. I've just always seemed to be doing something else at the time.
June 4th, got another one coming up.
All right, Nick, do you want to explain what server smash is?
So, Server Smash is a community-led event in PlanetSide 2 where, obviously, Server Smash, usually it's 2 different servers, will go onto the special event server with special access accounts and have a controlled, 2-hour, 90-minute, what have you, match. It's just a competition style for a game that hosts thousands of people.
That's basically what I knew of it.
Yeah. And so
I want to emphasize controlled because the pops are completely even, the territories are completely even, and there's no real advantage.
One of the things that I almost think is a downside because they did it almost too perfectly is in the live version of PlanetSide, every map is a 3-way. There's 3 empires fighting, and so it creates very, I guess, balanced almost fights where because it's very predictable, it's very steady front lines because every time you start gaining on one empire, the other empire attacks you, so you have to pull back to defend. So it creates very static lines. So you could look at that as a pro as that's very good game design that they were able to pull that off, but at the same time it can be a con because it gets boring quick. So with Server Smash, you only have 2 sides fighting. So you get to play on maps, fight in different directions as far as from base to base, angles and stuff like that, and some strategies you wouldn't see on live just simply because there's only 2 people fighting instead of 3.
And I've noticed that once the tide starts to go in favor of one team, it's kind of just a ripple effect because of how balanced the game is.
In Server Smash or in live?
In Server Smash, once you start losing one territory, it's usually a rippling effect.
It's gotten a little bit better now, but yeah, usually, and that's because of the just the way the map layouts are. It's if once you get that one key base, the next couple bases are kind of easy to take, and then you get to the next checkpoint, and it's just kind of who can stay on the upper hand, who can be the fastest.
You mentioned that, and we actually lost a base pretty early on in Server Smash 61.
We lost a couple.
Which was... Right, we did. There was a 3-point base. I can't remember the name of that 3-point base, but we lost it. We started...
Defiance.
Right, Mason's. We went there, we started the cap, we left, and I remember someone mentioning we should probably head back to Mason's when it's near capping so that, they don't steal it from us because they can. That's exactly what they did. And
yeah, it was... They made a change a couple months ago for those that were familiar with the original PlanetSide where if you... It used to be where you would have to take it down to the halfway marker. So let's say it was a 7-minute cap base. You would have to take it to 3.5 minutes to make it kind of go quote-unquote neutral and then start ticking up towards your empire. So if the other empire came in to try to take it, they would have to, if you were below the halfway point, they would have to go back up to the halfway point and then come back down. Well, they changed it now to where that doesn't happen. So if you, 7-minute cap, you tick it down 6.5 minutes and the other empire comes in, they only have to hold it for 30 seconds. And the base was actually left alone for a really long time, the one they was talking about in Server Smash 61. And finally they were like, all right, it's time, go ahead and start the tick. We started the tick, we got pulled off because it's a long tick, no point keeping people there for a while. And then we're like, hey, you need to start, in our minds, we're like, hey, you need to start sending people over there because they're going to send people over there. And they were like, no, it's fine, pretty much, and it ended up not being fine, and we lost it, and it was very dumb.
Well, the thing is, we lost the base, but we ended up winning the server smash, though. Our side won, our team won.
Barely. It was like 49-51, well...
Hey, that's a win in my book.
49-51, I guess, is what it was, but...
All right, I have some of the... I'm streaming some of it right now.
But yeah, it's it was a very close match. That one didn't get away. We were able to, our western lanes were able to hold while our eastern lane kind of collapsed a little bit at the beginning. So
yeah, like aside from Nasons, we actually did a pretty good job, right? We held our ground. We didn't actually take Briggs. Was it Briggs? Was it
Broken Veil?
Broken Veil, yeah, right.
Well, we took it, but then we lost.
Okay, we took it for like a minute. And then, yeah, they took it right back, so... And I think one of the things that you mentioned before was that we didn't get much air support.
No, we didn't at all.
Like, there was
Did
one
the other
point...
team have good air, or...?
Yes.
Well, you know,
At least
Azure
where we
Twilight's known
were.
for its air.
That's a good one, man.
Well, we've had plenty of people who want to do lots of air stuff, and then we have our people in charge of ops keep shooting them down, and then they just give up and they either leave or just stop playing entirely.
At me. Literally, I tried it. I love air, and I'm really good at it, but I need a buddy. I can't do it by myself. But I'm never able to do it.
Yeah,
there's definitely a lack of air usage in our like day-to-day play.
You got to remember that this is a service match, so you have outfits from the old server, and so we have
that's
all those TR and NC Sky Knights that the VS don't have. We're playing and we're flying. It's just,
we basically have a dedicated air platoon, right?
During the service
match.
Except they don't do their job, but that's
that's because they have a bad
I don't want to
leader,
say that,
but
I don't want to say that because I don't know what happened on their perspective. Maybe they were having a crazy fight in like another base. All right.
I mean, there were times. There's certain strategies, like the global strategies, that are pretty sound in Server Smash, and over the last couple Emeralds, Air has not really done what Air should be doing in Server Smash. They do part of what they should be doing, but they're not operating at full capacity, and it's a little annoying, but it's what it is.
Yeah, I think we could improve on the air side. Like I remember we had air support once at Broken Veil. A whole bunch of sites came in. They did a really good job. They were supporting us. They were taking out the ground troops. We were like, yeah, we finally get air support. And then what happened?
They left with still like a minute or 30 seconds left on the cap. And the moment they left, the other enemy air force came in.
Exactly.
Proceeded to kill us and drop a bunch of troops.
Yeah, Vanu in general is really good at that. At like, we got this cap all secured up. Let's start everyone pulls out at once, or the key assets pull out at once. Think it's all secured. It's like no.
Well, it's not just Vanu. This is Server Smash, so it's the entire server.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I find it specifically.
Emerald as a whole.
Even in regular play, I find it happens frequently.
Yeah. But aside from that, I think we
man,
did a
that
good
bitch
job.
just smack you up. Mr. Sinus was not friendly. Oh, what the fuck's going on?
We did a good job holding our ground, and we won the Server Smash 51-49. I'm happy about that. I had fun during the Server Smash, and I think that's the most important thing. If we're playing a game and we're not having fun, there's no reason to play the game anymore, right? So.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't play the game really anymore. I haven't for a while.
Yeah, personally, I just kind of been taking a break, playing some other games. I kind of overplayed it, and it kind of tired me out. I'm starting to come
Overplayed.
back.
Yeah, I want to get back into, especially with the new elements they've added. But the problem is there's just too many other games going on at the moment. I mean, it's like less than 2 weeks until Total War Warhammer comes out, and then I'm gone for who knows how long playing that. So I want to get back in. I just don't know when I'll have the time.
Lock herself in a room with a like a piss bucket. What was it called again? What's the word for that?
A bucket?
Yeah, it's like
a chamber pot.
Yeah,
chamber pot. There we go. I was trying to think. I was like,
what? I've never heard of that.
English people use it, and I couldn't think of it.
It's
like
fine. Medieval times style.
Yeah, it's like what
you need
English
to read more.
Use.
Yeah,
never heard of chamber pot.
He's young.
Well, you don't necessarily
or watch
have to
Game
read
of
that.
Thrones.
You
I'm
can
pretty
watch
sure.
movies.
Yeah,
and
you can
watch
watch
shows.
Game of Thrones. That's probably a good idea. Speaking of Game of Thrones, has anyone seen the last episode?
There was so many posts about it that I read all those posts and I was like, why is this showing up in all my feeds?
Wait, which one?
Why is Google giving
First
it
one
to
of
me?
the
Why
new
is YouTube giving
season
it to
or
me?
what?
No,
It's like episode
4.
Season
Episode
6,
4,
episode
yeah.
4. Yeah.
No,
How
I
do
haven't.
I even
Almost
know
half
it's season
done.
6, episode 4? It's ridiculous. I don't even watch the show.
I
Okay, tell us what happened.
I haven't been. I've been
No, I'm
watching
not
the
going to say
show.
what happened. I don't want to accidentally spoil. If someone's coming here to watch some Doom 3 being played and hear about Server Smash, and all of a sudden there's spoilers coming in for Game of Thrones,
You know
I'm not
what?
gonna do that to them.
The only reason why I clicked on all those links is because Emilia Clarke was nude, so I wanted to see those nude pictures.
That's a spoiler right there. That's a spoiler.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, she
No, it isn't.
basically said she was
Naked.
never going to do nude again, and then
No,
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 did
no,
nude.
no. She
It
never
wasn't
said
her
she
that
was going
said
to
it.
do sex scenes again.
sex scenes. I thought it was nude. I'll have to look it
No.
up again. But I thought
No,
she said she
that's-
did not approve of the nudity.
That's
Or is that a different actress?
well, all right. So she might have said that at
Someone-
one point, but then she like later clarified it that she meant like,
Yeah,
I'm never gonna do a sex
She
scene again.
clarified it.
And the way they used the nude in this episode was as like,
Oh yeah,
Our
it's not
thing,
sex.
so-
Like,
Sexy.
it was a
Yeah,
reveal.
yeah.
It was more like a special thing.
Yeah, well, no, people fans of the show will recognize the
Yeah.
imagery, but okay, no, I'll have to look that up again. Yeah, no, yeah, all right, that's a bit different, I guess. Not wanting to do
What was
sex
that?
scenes.
Yeah,
I also
no,
think,
no.
honestly, Emily Clark, I think that's shooting herself really big in the foot because she's not that good of an actress to not be able to say I won't do sex scenes. Like you're not, you might like that's going to
Well,
limit your opportunities,
she's-
Emily.
She's not that pretty either, so
So I think
I
she's
think
pretty
gotta
enough.
find
She's
a-
pretty
gotta
enough.
find a good
in
balance.
in a European sense, but she's
in a
the one-
European
Out of
sense.
all the main characters of the show, she's the weakest in terms of acting capability.
Yeah.
And though she has
Come
gotten
with me if
better.
you want to live.
Oh, I heard she was terrible in the Terminator movie, but I
That-
can't wait
that
to
whole
watch
well,
it.
movie was
everyone
terrible.
was terrible. in
Yeah, I
that
heard.
movie.
Yeah,
Well,
everyone.
yeah, obviously it wasn't James Cameron.
Well,
wasn't
actually,
making it.
sadly, I heard that Arnold was actually the best part of that movie, which is
Well, I would imagine
Arnold-
Arnold's good at being the Terminator. Usually.
Arnold and who plays the bad guy in it?
Terminator.
John Connor. I don't know
Oh,
his
yeah,
name.
hey, that's a good actor. I like that guy.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
did
remember.
he did a pretty good job. I think like Kyle Reese, Jai Courtney. I didn't like that at all. I don't like him. He has a
He looks pretty talented. He looks about as talentless as Emily Clark. No, I shouldn't say Emily Clark does have a bit of talent.
yeah,
she's
but
just
they
not
have all the
that good.
on-screen time in that movie. They basically have like 90% of the screen time.
I know, yeah. From what I gather, I mean, just by the look of the trailers, he's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" He has no
He's got-
personality. Now, I'm not saying
Yeah,
Michael
he's got-
Bean's an amazing
like, douche
actor, but
face.
at least he got across the character. What you
Michael
needed to
Bean was
know.
that?
Sorry, what?
You said
Michael
Michael
Biehn?
Bean?
Yeah,
Who's that?
Michael Bean. Who's that? The guy who played Kyle Reese in the original Terminator movies.
All right. The original Terminator. Okay, so the Terminator 1.
Terminator and Terminator 2. Yeah,
It wasn't what
he was in Terminator 2. Yes, the special edition. He was a scene that was re-added. That was that's
so
also
was it
even
a
in the
flashback
trailers.
or something?
Yeah, he's in a dream
I don't remember
sequence basically.
All right.
it's a very important scene actually. It's really annoying that they took it out, but it's a kind of a dream sequence that Sarah Connor has that basically kind of gets her from like being just stupefied in the hospital to actually I gotta escape. I gotta find my son. Now the special edition of Terminator 2
is really necessary because it makes the movie. It takes a good action movie and makes it a really great movie. The special edition adds so much in terms of character development. Oh, it's wonderful.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
you
I'll-
just said
Might
stupefied,
check that out.
which is
Oh, yeah, no,
definitely Harry Potter.
It makes John Connor, Sarah Connor, the Terminator all much more interesting characters, and even the T-1000's more interesting.
Expecto Patronum.
Wait, what?
Oculus Rift. No, nothing. Okay. You probably should remember that one.
What? I'm so confused. That
I'm
was
doing
in
Harry
Terminator.
Potter references.
I haven't
Never
watched all the
mind.
movies. I only watched them in horrible, out of order sequences.
What?
What?
I
don't
watched the
watch
first.
Harry
I watched
Potter,
the first one, the second
Okay.
one, the sixth one, and then the fifth one. I haven't watched the fourth,
What?
The third,
That
fourth,
order-
or
that order is
What are
all
you
fucked
doing?
up.
seventh, or eighth.
That order is all messed up.
Yeah, I know. It happened because. It happened because I watched.
You haven't even seen the new ones?
It's like it goes from like lighthearted and it's like lighthearted to like very serious and it goes back to like not as serious. The order you watched it in.
Well, what happened was I had watched the first two and wasn't really impressed, with the movie. Fine, all right, whatever. I'm not terribly interested in watching any of the other ones. But then my
Arguably,
friends
the
were all
first
like, "Let's
two are
go
the
watch
best ones.
episode 6." And the Half-Blood Prince was my favorite Harry Potter book. I really enjoyed that book. And I'm like, all right, I'll go see that adaptation. And I actually really enjoyed it. Then I decided
Arguably, the
to watch the
Half-Blood
fifth
Prince
one.
is the worst one.
The Half-Blood Prince, I think, is one of the better books. The worst book is by far The Order of the Phoenix. That thing is so boring. Oh god, that was a terrible book.
So you read the books in order, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely
Okay,
read the books.
all
in
right,
order.
then
I was a
that's
big fan
fine.
of the books.
You're fine.
I never
Yeah,
read the
no.
books.
So I knew
No,
what was
it's
going
fine.
on in the movies generally, and I thought the fifth movie was a lot better than the book actually, because they cut away all the stupid shit they had in the book that was just extra filler. At that point, it was clear that she was just being paid by the page, so that's why the Order of the Phoenix is so massive, and none of the other ones are as long as it, because there was enough of backlash saying this book had so much extra useless shit that bogged
I
down
thought
the
Goblet
story.
of Fire was the longest book in the series.
No, that was the Goblet of Fire was the first twice
Right.
as long as the previous ones. It was the first big one, but Order of the Phoenix is the longest one. The sixth and seventh one were shorter. But no, I thought the seventh one I liked because it felt actually after the fourth and the fifth one, it felt a lot more like in tone like of the first three, especially the third one. I felt, which was a more interesting, more nuanced story compared to all the other ones. The third one was one of my favorite books.
So here I am at 46% health, right, or 46 health, and I totally walked by one of those wall stations of health because I didn't realize they were in this game.
I'm actually kind of wanting to play this now because I'm so sick of regenerating health in any kind of shooter. It's nice to see granted,
Look at
it's kind of
Look at how
old, but
dark this
I'd
game
love to
is.
play it.
There are parts of the game where all the lights just shut off and you're walking around in almost pitch black. This game is scary as shit. And
Yeah, no, I'll play
There
this
was-
game probably after I actually need to finish Painkiller. I never actually finished the entire thing.
don't play this game. Don't play this game. You haven't played Alien Isolation yet, and if anything, this Alien Isolation is like
Well, I want Alien Isolation to be a scary game. I don't really want my Doom game to be scary. I want my Doom game to be about killing a
What
bunch of
about-
dudes. I
Alien
want
Isolation
Alien
is
Isolation is
Isolation.
video
very
game.
similar to this game.
Well, no, Alien Isolation is definitely. I'm going to play that, sooner than this.
Would
for
you
sure.
recommend playing the new game though?
Which one? The new
Which
Doom?
game?
The new Doom.
I
haven't
have no
played the
idea.
game yet.
They're getting okay reviews. I think it got a 7.3 or 7.8 or something on IGN, and the GameSpot review's not out yet today.
Yeah,
Oh.
IGN, GameSpot can only get the basic idea from them. I really don't trust those sources, those opinions.
You
anymore.
told us that last time.
I did. Well, I'm telling you
did?
again. It's been a while.
This game, there's these lock boxes where you have to enter this code to unlock it to pick up some power-ups, some items and whatnot. In Alien Isolation, there's the same thing. There's a lot of terminals that you have to go through, read the text, and find a code, remember the code, run back to the terminal, and punch in the terminal to unlock doors and open like power-ups and stuff. So these games are very, very similar, and Alien Isolation is a horror game, and this is, I think, one of the very first first-person shooter horror games. This game and like Fear maybe that came out around the same time.
I wouldn't call Fear a horror game. That's a first-person shooter that has tries to be a horror occasionally.
You know what? The
Why do I
entire
not know
story
any of these
Fear,
games?
the entire
Like-
story of Fear was a
'Cause you're
horror
young and-
story.
So
It was about,
But it wasn't
like,
really
this
scary.
facility. Yeah,
That-
well, it was supposed to be.
that's me realizing that, oh, hey, look, there's a terminal with a bunch of health in it.
Like,
Maybe I should use it.
I mean, then there's been first-person horror games before that. I mean, like the Alien versus Predator games were actually much closer to horror games, especially.
Aliens versus Predator. I played that. It's not a horror game.
Oh yeah, it was far scarier than the Doom
Aside
games of
from-
the day.
Yeah, sure, but it was more of like it was more like Counter-Strike, where you're just running around and shooting stuff, and the aliens would be like, "Meow," and then they rip
Well,
your face
I know
apart.
it was excellent use like the motion using like the single player for the Marines specifically. It was pretty. It could be pretty scary with how dark it gets. Your limited light sources. You rely on the motion tracker. The face huggers might be jumping on your face and shit like that. That was for that
Well,
time.
if
That was a good example of a hybrid of action
Right.
and horror, where Fear is a terrible example of that.
Right.
Not saying it's a bad game as an action game. I'm just saying it's not like it looks like a horror game, but it doesn't really feel like it. Except for the occasional moments when they actually do some crazy shit with the game, but then those are very few and far between.
All right, so we're way off topic here. We were talking about Planet Side, and we got back to Doom, and then it's all over the place. But
Well, we're watching a Doom stream, I think we're fine.
let's move back to our second topic for this week. Civ 6 was revealed by Firaxis, and they unveiled a whole bunch of changes they're making to the game, from going from Civ 5 to Civ 6.
Sounds good to me.
Let me just put the screen up here. So this is the IGN article. They mention a couple things like how military units can now occupy the same hex, where before military units could only occupy the same hex as civilian units, like builders.
Yeah. Oh, so
and-
they're going back to it's more like it was in Civ 4, where you could stack up army units.
I don't remember Civ 4 that well. I played it, but I don't remember it all that well. It's all the Civ games like meld together in my brain.
Yeah, don't blame you. I like that as well. I mean, there were reasons to separate in Civ 5, but it doesn't. My biggest issues with the Civ series is when they don't, when they diverge too much from realism a little bit, for where I don't feel the game benefits
They're
from
not
it.
supposed to be real.
No, I like it. I like it to be a blend, but keep it more. I would prefer it kept it more realistic as long as it doesn't impede gameplay.
So, one of the big differences, it says the big difference in our Fog of War from Civ 5 is that the terrain was covered by clouds, but now it's completely unexplored blank parchment where you don't see anything. You don't know where the landmass is, where it ends, where it starts, wherever.
All right, that could be neat.
That's how some of the other games were like Beyond Earth was like that.
Beyond Earth had the fog still, didn't it?
I mean, it was fog, but it didn't show you like the outline. It was pitch black fog. You couldn't.
I honestly don't remember, but I'll take your word
Yeah.
for it. Yeah. I mean, have you guys played the previous ones?
Oh yeah,
I
I played Civ 5 extensively.
I probably played like every other one or something like that weird.
Makes sense. I don't need to play every single one.
Yeah, it's one of those games.
Played 6 of Civ 5. I don't know which one. I played one.
I find Civ games take too long for me. Like my patience runs out.
Yeah,
sort of
well,
like
they're grander. They're not like the grandest of strategy, but they're big strategy. Big long, nice long 20-hour campaigns. Juicy.
oh god, that's horrible. I started
No,
playing.
it's not horrible. It's good. I'm getting good money's value out of my fucking game. That's what I'm getting.
I
As long as
started
I'm
playing
entertained.
I started playing Stellaris yesterday, and that's a 4X game. That's much better. We did Polaris Sector 2 weeks ago. No, not 2 weeks ago. 2
months
podcasts
ago.
ago. And that game was pretty crappy.
Yeah,
It's an indie
as a 4X game, it
developer.
didn't look very interesting to me.
Stellaris is really polished, really well done, and it's a really interesting game. The thing is, I created a map with 17 AI opponents, 17 basically aliens, and
That sounds like a lot.
it is a lot. But that's like the moderate level. The highest you can go is like 30 something, and then like the number of solar systems you can have is like 1,000. And I left it. The default setting is medium, 600. That is 600 solar systems you have to send ships to explore, like one at a time. That just I played for 2 hours and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I find that it feels the same way with Civ sometimes, where it's like you've been playing so long that I just can't keep playing the same thing, same map with these same opponents.
Yeah, it's different strokes for different folks, and I agree with you that bad strategy games get boring if they don't feel like if the core gameplay isn't entertaining enough that you can keep playing it over and over again with but with progression and slight changes as you go along, then it's not going to be a worthwhile strategy game. But different tastes. You never seem to be too much into the grander strategy style.
No, I'm more of an MMO grinder.
Yeah,
Give me like a month and like a Korean MMO. No, not a Korean MMO.
That's just, like you can't grind out a strategy game, but you can grind out like mining for gold.
I used to play Korean MMOs, but not anymore. But
I could
still
never
like
really
my
get
MMOs.
into MMOs. I don't know.
What MMOs have you tried?
Minecraft is an MMO.
Minecraft is
No.
not an MMO at all.
God,
No,
damn
I've
it,
tried
Thomas.
Skyforge and
Skyforge sucks.
and
Skyforge was
Name
awesome.
me a
Shut your
good
mouth.
MMO. Because you played it.
Hey, what was Wizard one? I don't know.
Wizardry Online or whatever.
Yeah, I played that.
SOE one.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that had?
Online?
Isn't that the one that had permadeath?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, like you create your character.
Wow,
you
that's
die,
insane.
That character's done. You have to create a new character.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I was not into the
you know
game at
what?
all.
EVE Online has a similar system, but they have also a system where like you have a last name and like your surname, you pass your money and whatever when you die off to like one of your clones or one of your what is it again? One of your
Heirs.
one of your heirs. There we go. So like that, I mean, I find that that's like an interesting take on something like that. But you still they take a little bit of your money away, right, when you die.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no, it's not permadeath, but it's sort of like your guy is dead, so your name no longer exists. You have a new name. But in that game, I guess you just die permanently. You have to create a new character. That's hardcore. That's like Diablo 3 hardcore.
If it's the one I'm thinking
Daisy,
of,
man. I haven't played that in a while, actually. Jam, I gotta get back into that. That's a scary game I need to get back into.
Daisy.
I mean, I don't love scary games, but I love reacting to scary games because it's so funny.
Then if you should play Amnesia, the Descent, or I believe the Dark Descent. Yeah.
I want to always react with someone, so I'm trying to get Francis to start a whole nother thing where we can react to just being scared. Francis is a little.
I told you if we get us 100 subscribers on the channel, I'll do it. I'm serious.
Maybe he needs to do it in order to get the 100 subscribers.
I absolutely hate horror games, and
we'll get over it.
I'm not the biggest fan myself because I can't actually play Amnesia. I saw after watching the trailer, I'm like, that might just be too scary for me.
Oh no, I played scary
it.
games, so I will freak out, and it will be hysterical.
I played Alien Isolation.
I'll do it with you.
I played. Yeah,
Let's
you guys
do
can
it,
do
Bricks.
it. I played Alien Isolation.
Let's do it.
And that game is. There are parts of Alien Isolation where it's scary as fuck. Like you're hiding under a table, and there's like an alien in the room with you, and you're like holding your breath, and you're like, "Oh god, oh god, oh god, he doesn't see me, he doesn't see me," and it's so fucking scary.
Yeah, Amnesia's the same way, except in Amnesia you never get the ability to fight back. And you also
can go insane.
For like the first half of Alien Isolation, you can't fight back either. And there's no way to actually kill an alien in Alien Isolation. Like,
spoilers! I didn't know that. Jeez, I haven't played the game yet.
Yeah, gosh.
Not really a spoiler, but you find out really quickly that aliens are unkillable, and that
you could spoil this for me at least, as long as it's not a
major spoiler. Why are they not? Why are they unkillable in the game? Because they're quite killable in some of the movies.
I don't want to spoil anything, but they're not actually unkillable. But until like a certain point of the game, you don't have the tools to kill it.
All right, see that's fair.
You get a flamethrower, and that. You flamethrower the alien, it jumps away. Yeah. So you have a limited amount of fuel in your flamethrower, so you can't just keep doing that. And the entire game is designed around like limited resources and
I know
avoiding
that.
the alien and all that stuff. It's really intense. It's a
I would
suspense game.
love
it if they actually did give you an access to like a gun, a firearm to use against the other non-alien opponents, like the other people and the robots. But then if you used it against the alien, you'd actually lose the game. That would be awesome.
Why would you lose the game?
What?
Did you ever watch the movies at all?
You get a gun and you're like, bam, 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 bam. No, lose. What?
Did you ever watch the movie at all? Do you never realize why they just don't shoot it, the alien in the first Alien movie?
Because that would be a boring way to end the movie.
Except that
you've never watched it, I guess.
No, I've watched all. Wait.
Okay,
no.
what
I've
do
watched
they have?
the aliens.
What does the aliens have for blood?
The acid.
Yes, and what are they on in the first movie? What's the location of the movie?
Shoot, they're all scrambling in. Okay, so
They're
there's
in a
the one
spaceship.
on the
so if you
spaceship.
shoot the alien, it bleeds through the hull. They all die. That's why
Yeah,
they
they're-
don't shoot the
They're
alien in
on
the movie.
Which one is the
Nostromo?
one? Wait, which one is the one where they're on the planet and
That's
they're like they go into the artifact place?
okay, that's
One's that.
Alien. That happens in both Alien and
That's-
Aliens. But that's
Oh.
like when they
Yeah.
when they go find the derelict, that's Alien. But in Aliens, they fight the aliens on the planet, so there's no worry about them melting through any hull because they're on the planet.
Right.
That's why they can kill them willy-nilly, but that's the reason why in Alien they don't just shoot the alien. That's why they have to blast it. That's why they're always trying to blast out the
Well,
airlock.
and they don't have the weapons to kill it.
They do. They have guns. It shows
they?
that they have guns in the movie.
All right.
Yeah, they get weapons out. It's like I'll break out the weapons. All right, they're carrying these guns around.
I'm sorry, I'm not an aliens expert.
No,
Gosh.
I've only watched
it's not
movies.
like they don't specifically say it outright, but it's right there. It's subtle to see. And the writer acknowledged like he didn't want to make the alien bulletproof because he feels that's a lame cop out in writing. Like, oh, this creature got bullets don't affect it. So he came about. That's why he came with acid for blood. So they had a reason not just to shoot the alien.
Dude,
which I
just
thought
lure it up to the top deck and then shoot it, and hopefully it doesn't melt all the way to the bottom. It'll like run out.
That's a big hope.
It's fine. So, anyways, we were talking about aliens, and you know what? That reminds me of the next Prometheus 2 is actually in the next Aliens movie. It's called like Aliens.
Yeah, they're
What
actually
is it?
putting
Aliens?
Alien in the title. Yeah, Alien
Yeah.
5 is being made as well as the sequel to
Well, because
Prometheus.
it-
No, Alien 5's on hold for
Oh, when did that happen?
While they're
When
working
they
on
announced
Prometheus
2.
Yeah, they're
Oh
working
yeah,
on that instead.
yeah. Like Prometheus 2 is going to come out before Alien 5.
Yeah.
I knew that, but
right.
It just-
and they
it didn't
said,
make
they
sense.
said they have a plan for like 3 more of those Prometheus series of movies, and
Why does
the
anyone wanna
Aliens
watch
5
that?
or whatever won't be made until that run's done. So pretty much it's on hold indefinitely.
The thing about
I'll have to look that up. No, I
Prometheus
hadn't heard that it
is-
was on hold indefinitely.
For all intents and
Prometheus,
purposes, it's on hold.
2017 is the date I was given.
all right, it'll come out eventually, basically.
But yeah, let's
So
talk
anyways-
Prometheus. Well, like, I'm looking forward to
I
a
was saying-
Prometheus movie. Are you guys looking forward to another one?
They can't call it Prometheus 2 because the Prometheus was destroyed in the first movie.
That's
Yeah.
why they're
Wait,
not.
what's Prometheus?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they can't call it Prometheus 2.
It was
Prometheus. Promethei.
prequel Aliens movie that wasn't an Aliens movie, even though it was completely an Aliens movie.
What?
Oh wait, was that the one that he had like
That
the
is-
thermal
It was
vision?
not an
No.
Aliens
Description.
movie, yet people wanted it to be an Alien prequel, which was just stupid because that's not what it was.
Yeah.
Except it was.
What was the
It-
alien?
it's-
but
like
it
in
wasn't.
Yeah,
Prometheus?
It
Say it
didn't
again?
lead into Alien at all.
What was
no,
the
but
alien
it's,
like?
it's still.
It's setting the stage for Alien.
It wasn't
It's
like,
No, it
Aliens
isn't.
prequel
It
per
didn't
se.
set the
It
stage
took
for
place
Alien.
right before Aliens, but it was in the same universe that came before Aliens.
Yeah, yeah. It
Did
was
they use the same
it was a separate
actors?
story
No.
set in the same universe before the events of Alien, but was not directly connected to it.
No, but they
Yeah, and I've
actually
never
show
seen
us. They show us more of that alien ship.
That's
That
not
we
the same
see-
alien ship. That's not the same planet.
No,
A
but
lot of people make that mistake, but it's not the same
it's
ship.
not. I understand it's not the same ship, but it's the same type of ship
Yes.
in the same configuration.
Yes.
And the room they're in, that hologram room we see later in the movie. I actually watched this movie yesterday, which is why I'm talking about it. And actually remember stuff because normally
should
like I
rewatch it.
forget
It was
everything
good.
after a week. But remember when the
school.
engineer he kills everyone and he gets into the pilot seat, he summons this chair that comes out. That is the same chair that we see the dead alien, that giant dead alien in.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like they sort of explain a little bit of what you're seeing before. It's actually this is a cockpit, and that was actually a hologram room where they like go like.
Well,
tell
yeah,
the
I mean,
ship
a
where
lot
to
of
go.
people assume that's what was an alien. Like this alien creature was in that chair commanding the ship. You can make that assumption.
There was nothing that said that. That could have been a sex
What else would
machine.
have been there?
He sat
Maybe
in
it
the
was a
chair.
sex machine, but it was
It was
also
he
like
put on a
you
VR
assume
headset
was
and
a
he was
pilot.
getting diddled by the machine.
Diddled?
You don't know what that was.
The space jockey was also referred
That
to
word.
as the pilot. That's what like the two names for that creature in Alien was the space jockey /
Okay.
pilot.
If you read into it, yes, you're right. That's like doing your research on a movie after you watch it. That doesn't count. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, for Prometheus, they revealed a lot of stuff that it was in the Aliens universe that connected it to it.
Yeah, but no, it's fine for it to do it, but it's not really accurate to call it a prequel because it doesn't lead
Yeah, you're
into that's the issue, and that's what a lot of people had a negative reaction to Prometheus based on that kind of idea that this was a prequel that wasn't really that failed to be a prequel when it was never trying to be, not at least not at that point. Maybe in the original conception before the movie was written, it was supposed to be more of a direct prequel, but it wasn't at that point. It was just, and I like that idea. Let's make a movie set in the same universe, but it doesn't have to be connected to the storyline. I like that.
Right.
And now Star Wars is going to be doing that as well with upcoming, Disney movies.
I'm still kind of on the
Not
fence about all these
any-
offshoots.
Not anytime soon. They're not.
What, the Han Solo
what?
movie?
Yeah, they're doing like the Rogue One, Han Solo, and all these movies, and I'm kind of on the fence about all these movies. Like,
Wait, how can they do a Han Solo movie?
Yeah, they got a
Because
new young
basically,
actor.
it's a Star Wars movie without the Force. That's what it is.
What?
Well, sure, whatever.
Then it's
It
not-
doesn't matter. I mean,
It's a
what
Star
matters
Wars
is
movie
it's
with
not gonna
no
be a
Jedis,
real
no
prequel.
Force. It's just like
Weird.
Han Solo. It's like him smuggling in, like, maybe
Yeah,
maybe they'll do like
how
the Kessel
Han met
run.
Chewie.
Maybe
No,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
maybe
use
the-
a different actor, right? 'Cause
Maybe they'll like
as him
the
like
first
a
time
young
they
boy.
get the Millennium
Yes.
Falcon.
They just cast Eldarin.
Yeah, I can't even pronounce his last
When we
name.
talk about
Eldarin.
this, we talked about. When did we talk about this?
We did
The
not
last
talk about
podcast.
this. We did
Or
not
we
talk
just
We
about
never
talking about
talked
it?
about.
Maybe we were just talking about it then.
Alden
But Eldarin.
Alden
Something or
Erich.
Oh, sorry, another podcast. Yeah. Yeah.
You're too busy, man.
They just cast
Wait,
him.
you do other podcasts? What?
Just one of
Yeah,
them. I was
they-
helping a buddy.
He's like a British dude, right? So like,
Yeah.
he's got to do his like American voice.
Like Finn in Force Awakens did. And
And Daisy.
well, she
No,
did,
Daisy kept her.
Yeah, she had
Oh.
an English accent in the movie.
Okay. Well, let's move on to our next topic. I think spoken enough about Prometheus.
What was that noise?
I'm stretching. I've been sitting for an hour and leave me alone.
Cool
That
story,
was
bro.
it.
Cool story.
It felt like a
Oh,
brain
bruh.
stretch.
So, the Overwatch open beta was last weekend, from was it Friday to Monday?
This is also true.
And
Your story,
did
bro.
you guys play it? You guys tried it out?
I didn't. I
Negative.
I did a real big dumb. So I
What happened?
thought that you had to buy pre-order to play Overwatch. So I was like, okay,
was the-
I'll just get the key from
was-
someone.
The open beta.
I know. I didn't realize it was free. I was like, everyone was playing. I was like, wow, so many people bought this game and are using their beta key. And then someone was like, so why are you not playing, Thomas? And I was like, I didn't buy the game. They're like, it's free. I'm like, what? And it was the
Yeah,
last
like half the
day,
people on
and there
my
was-
on my BattleNet friends list was online playing.
Open
Overwatch.
Yeah, and the
beta
one day-
means everyone can play it.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
open
it
beta
was-
means.
Well, that doesn't mean I'm smart enough to think that.
You said it, not me.
Like the word open. Yeah, that's
But
that's
was the last
that's
day,
the
it was
that's
the
the outro
Monday.
for the next podcast.
it was
Sorry,
the
go on.
Monday, the last Monday. But I couldn't play that one day, and I found out that I could have, and I was really angry. But
You know what?
in my defense,
You
I
can
kinda
watch my
goofed.
Overwatch video. I've actually gone back and watched my 2 hours of my Overwatch gameplay from the last day of the
Oh,
Overwatch
I've
open
watched
beta
a ton
on
of
Monday.
gameplay. It's so awesome.
It's such a good game that I actually went back and rewatched my own gameplay like 3 times. That's how fucking good it is. And
So you hype?
I really like the game. But I want to ask you guys first, like, What do you guys think of the game?
Well, all right.
I don't have too many thoughts as I never played it.
Well, like, elaborate on your
I mean,
well, at least
it was a fun game. It was a good game. It's one of those types of games that, for the people who play it religiously with the same team,
they'll have an advantage.
You'll have the advantage, and it's
well, same
like
as
any
MOBA,
team-based game.
Because teamwork.
You get those idiots on your team, and then you just want to kill yourself because everyone sucks in the world, and
it's true. It's true. There are those rare times where you get partnered with someone who actually knows what they're doing, keeps their shield up, or like deploys their turret in the right spot. But it's rare. Especially during the beta, no one knew what they were doing. It's like I like half the time I'd spawn in and be like, this is a new map. I've never played this map before. I don't know where everything is. I'm just gonna run out and die.
It's also one of those games that they have 16 characters or something like that, and 18 characters, and it's not as many as like League has, but it's still one of those things that you have to like know what other people's skills are in order to counter them and stuff like that, which is fine
you have to like play
if
those
you
characters.
actually want to play the game a lot. But if you don't want to play the game a lot because you just don't have the time or whatever, then it can suck.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But that's also true with a lot of team-based games like MOBAs, like League of Legends. If you have like 5 friends that'll play with you, your team is going to be better than like 5 other pickup group guys.
When I do play League, I don't got a problem. Well, I do. I have a couple of things wrong with League. Mainly the like control scheme, but I don't play like the regular matches in League because of that. Because I don't care enough about that game to sit there and play and learn all the heroes and their abilities and whatnot. So I'll do ARAM, which is all random, all mid, and it's pretty much a randomized game. And almost every time, the reason why you lose is just because of the randomness of it. It's not because certain individuals suck. So it's kind of like a fun game mode that doesn't really mean anything. It's all played seriously. Yeah, you don't take it seriously. No reason to get butthurt because it's just sometimes teams are randomized. So it's like, hey, cool, we just have all tanks, so we're screwed, or. Oh, we don't have a tank, or we don't have a support.
There are times to get butthurt in it, though, like when people keep retreating instead of just dying on the other side of the map.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's just one of those things it's like the nature of ARAM. Like, if you're taking ARAM seriously, you're playing the game wrong, whereas, like, people take the actual legitimate maps super serious, and it's like, I don't have the time for that, so...
Well, there's some people who take ARAM seriously. Some people only play ARAM. I know people who just they don't play the game at all.
That's the whole point of ARAM, is it's not a serious game mode, so if they're taking it seriously, they're playing it wrong. Like...
Yeah, it can be fun to take seriously at times.
All random. You have no control over your team. There's no way you can take that seriously. Control. You can ban 3 player or you?
No, I'm talking about builds. Like I've seen like teams of all mages, and they're like, all right. So then the mage is like, all right, I'm going to build this mage as a tank. Like they just tank up like Fiddlesticks. I'm going to tank up. Like we had a Fiddlesticks tank up because he felt that we needed an actual like guy who could take the hits, and it was hilarious to see us. And then we had our Kennen become the AD of the team. It was fun.
You guys nerding out over League of Legends is really boring for me.
That right there is like I kind of know what the guys you're talking about, but like I don't know what the guys that you're talking about are supposed to do because I don't give a shit enough about the game. So,
right. Well, actually, Overwatch has a mode like that where you can do random heroes.
Well, in Overwatch, can you change the weapons, or is it all static?
All static. There are no upgrades to anything. Your character is your character.
Yeah.
That's it.
Are they
you
planning
can
on
switch your character
changing
mid-match. Not that I'm aware.
Are they planning on changing that?
No.
So
it's
the only thing you can customize is like the outfit, and that's just pay money basically.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you don't have to pay. You can open chests actually.
Yep.
But I found that the game modes got a little boring for me. There were only a handful of game modes basically, and it's like escort, like King of the Hill style one, and then there was like assault the base kind of where you have to like take a checkpoint and take another checkpoint inside their base, and then you win.
I mean, that's any type of round-based game. That's one of the major things with that type of game is you're limited, and they may have 30 maps and 6 different type of game modes, but you play the game for a month, you've experienced them all 100 times.
Yeah.
They tend to be quicker matches too when you have round-based games. So,
well, I'd like to compare Overwatch with like another game that came out recently, which is Battleborn. And I've actually never played Battleborn, but I've watched a lot of videos on it. Those games are Battleborn is more like a MOBA in first person, whereas like it's sort of like how Smite is a MOBA in third person. Wait, is Smite in third person or first person?
Smite is. I think you might be able to do both, but it's not a fixed camera. It's like an over. It's a point of view camera, not a map camera like League is.
Right. But it's like third person over the shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what Battleborn is. You upgrade, you level up, you upgrade your character, very similar to a MOBA. And the whole like there's like flat mobs that spawn out. Just like a MOBA, like every minute there's mobs that spawn out, and some on your side, some on their side. There's big ones, there's small ones, and there's lanes where you can take different paths to get to the enemy base. I think there is something to be said about a game type like that Overwatch is missing. They just completely left that game type out. And yeah, I think that I would get bored of Overwatch after maybe a month.
Depending on how much.
And
I
also,
play
it's not going to be free, right?
If I play it every
$60
day,
American.
If I play it every day, usually these types of games last me like 2 weeks. If I only play them occasionally, it's usually like a month. Like Titanfall, I had a lot of fun with Titanfall, but after 2 weeks, I was done.
I was the same way with Rainbow Six. Like I played for about a month.
You talking about Siege?
Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, same thing.
I was just burnt out after a month. I was like, I've been playing so much, and there's not much variation to the game. There's like the same maps over and over again, different like operators, but I mean, it's essentially the same thing.
That's how I don't get. Well, I know why, but like Call of Duty and Battlefield, right? They come out with another game every year, but how people even last a year playing that game, I have no idea. Because you get 15 maps at max after you do all the DLCs, and you're playing the same 15 maps 20 minutes at a time.
I think at this point, people just need their fix, their Battlefield or Call of Duty fix, whatever they're fanboys of.
I mean, but it's like, I don't know. Like, how are you not bored out of your mind playing those games after that amount of time?
I played Call of Duty for years, multiplayer. Like, literally, I played Modern Warfare, like Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2.
But, like, that's like...
Modern Warfare 3.
Example would be when I was playing CS Source and the first Modern Warfare.
I played that too, yeah.
Like, religiously for a while. But I
played like every day after school. I would come home, all my friends would log in, and we'd play CS.
I would be playing while I was also playing, or I played that for a little bit for a couple months, and then like Rift came out, and I started playing Rift. So I would still play those other games, but those were kind of like the filler games. Like, oh, I'm waiting. I got an hour to kill before raid time, so I'd play a match or two of one of those. And then like one day a week would be purely that. But it's not like I was playing that game every single day. But I know a lot of people who play Call of Duty or Battlefield every single day from the time it comes out until the time the next one comes out. And I don't see how people can handle that. But
I mean, I have it on my PS4, and I'll play it every once in a while when we're doing like a squad up with some guys. But that's it. Like,
which one? Which do you have? Battlefield or Call of Duty? Which one?
Call of Duty 3, the new one.
Black Ops 3?
Black Ops 3, sorry, yeah.
Right. I played through the single player. I think the campaign is what I play Call of Duty for and what I play Halo for. Dude, you just shot a guy in the face for no reason. He was talking to you.
Exactly, he talked to me, alright? I thought he was like gonna put a spell on me. There's a bunch of demons running around.
Such a jackass.
Can't take chances, man.
Anyways, so I can't remember what I was saying, but so you play PlanetSide 2 for years.
You play PlanetSide 2 a lot. Yeah,
how is that
pulled
different
out of that
from
game
other
multiple
people playing?
times.
How is that different from other people playing Call of Duty for years?
Well, first, there's many more aspects to the game than Call of Duty or Battlefield.
I mean, now there is, because you can build.
Well, even before that. I mean, it was getting repetitive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like oblivious to what the game is. And I mean, that I occasionally burn out where I'll go a week or two without really playing. But it's got enough variety where it's not the same thing every day. I could go and play one day, do nothing but tanks. I can go the next day and lead ops. I can go the next day and just mindlessly try to shoot people in the game and try to get better at my FPS skills. And then I can go the next...
You're just talking about the same game with different play styles. I mean, you can do that in any game.
No, there's not. There is not more than one play style in Call of Duty. It is run around the map and try to shoot people in the face.
No, you can...
Yes.
There's snipers.
No,
there's...
it's all the same. It's that type of game that
I disagree.
not that you're high.
I disagree. There is definitely different ways of playing
Battlefield
the game.
a little more just because they have vehicles, but Call of Duty, no. Like, Call of Duty is literally the same thing.
There's nothing in Call of Duty that tells you that you have to run out and get your head shot off. Like, you can take it slow. There's different play styles, different ways you can play the game.
I wouldn't say that's really...
It's still an arena-based first-person shooter that has very limited play styles.
Yes. Now, what it does have, it's perfected far more to than like Battlefield has in terms of it's a lot more focused on what they're trying to do, and that's fine. But it is limited in terms of like broad different play styles that you can participate in.
All right. So
granted, I don't think Battlefield's really that much more expansive because what they have, it's not really depth in the different aspects. I'd rather play, instead of playing like tanks in Battlefield or in PlanetSide 2, I'd rather play a tanks or MechWarrior Online or something like that. Something that a lot more detailed in that specific kind of combat.
That was a good duck, man. You ducked right under his fireball.
And then I ducked right into the next one.
Yes, you did. You did in the face.
It didn't work twice in a row. I tried.
They learn. But so
no
we're
one's
talking
ever
about
that
Battlefield.
good.
We're talking about Battlefield and Call of Duty, and the reason why I brought that up is because they both released trailers last week. Battlefield 1, which is a alternate reality World War I scenario, and the new Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which is, I honestly don't know how to explain it. It's set in the future. There are...
Wait, BF1
just another future game.
Alternate reality?
Yeah. Didn't you see like a lot of the scenes had like blimps flying in the air and like weird shit?
What are you talking about? That happened in World War One. Zeppelins were used. Why are you saying it's an alternate reality? Zeppelins exist, and
they said that during their presentation.
Okay.
I didn't
actually listen to the presentation. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, because the trailers I saw, like nothing like appeared terribly out of the ordinary.
They did. That makes sense. I mean, because there's a lot of technology and stuff that came out of World War One because people don't know because no one ever talks about World War One because shortly after World War One was World War Two.
Well, except unless you watch the Great War channel, which I do highly recommend on YouTube.
So there's stuff. There was stuff in that they focused a lot, especially the trailer, on some of the quote unquote cooler or more interesting aspects of World War One, and not the later years trench warfare and people getting, their feet cut off and stuff because of trench foot and whatnot. But
that was actually the early years.
Cut off because
was more prevalent in the early years of World War One.
Silence.
Yeah. But so, anyways, they focused a lot more on the stuff that people don't know about because, just in general, people don't know anything about World War One because no one ever talks about it.
I'm gonna play the trailer for Battlefield. Keep talking. Keep going.
Yeah, please do.
So this is a big ass puppy that's trying to eat my face.
What?
What? Okay.
You're talking about in real life, or what are you talking about?
The game.
Oh,
is that supposed to be like the bull demon alien equivalent in Doom 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, there's no audio for the secondary video.
Yeah,
that's fine. You can,
what?
You can.
I'll
drop a link in the description.
I don't know. I need to see more about the Battlefield game before I'll get excited about it. I think it is cool though that they are, because like I said, no one ever talks about World War One. So the fact that they're going to World War One, I find very interesting, just as a concept.
That is Yeah, I think a lot of people have been like asking for a like go back to World War One style, like World War One style game for a while now.
Well, I'm excited because I actually used to play a World War One mod for Half-Life 1 called The Trenches, and a buddy of mine who I played it with has been talking about Verdun. I don't know if any of you played it, but it's a World War One trench setting game. And it looks really neat. It looks very realistic.
Never heard of it.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not too big. It's not like done by a major developer, but it seems like that, you know, with their popularity, then like a year or two later, out comes the trailer for a new Battlefield game. World War One's getting a bit of attention in the last little while. I mean, it was just it was just 2 years ago that, you know, it was the 100-year anniversary of the start of World War One.
They've been doing a lot of future style games.
Ooh,
I haven't really noticed many. Yeah.
Now, I don't know.
It's either
I
modern
thought there was
or
only
it's
one
futuristic.
set in the future for Battlefield, like Battlefield
20, 24, 22, 40, 21,
Yeah,
2152 or 2142.
Yeah.
2142. There you go.
But I do like that they're getting away from the
I
modern
actually bought
setting.
that game.
That's a smart
was
thing on
a bad
Battlefield's
game.
part. If they, as long as they get away from any modern setting, because it's just modern shooters are just so prevalent now. It's like, all right, let's go back. You know, heck, even if they went to World War II, that would be better than staying in the modern era. But World War One is going to be neat. It could be very neat. Because
Yeah,
as
I think
says,
World War
you know,
One.
it's very unknown. You know, not a lot of
The
people
fighting
know
in
about
World War One was very unique, like the trench warfare, and like they didn't have a lot of technology that we have nowadays, or even during World War II.
Well, no, but that's the neat thing is because there was a lot of technological advance from like the last big war, which was it was the American Civil War comparatively in terms of length and size, scope, and then World War One there was a big jump in technology, but the mindsets didn't jump. There was a lot of people stuck in the old Napoleonic War era mindset of how to fight a war and how it should be fought, which led to some pretty big disasters when they encountered with modern technology like machine guns and artillery,
tanks.
Well, this was before tanks, really, but yeah, trains were a big thing. Like that's actually one of the reasons why the Germans wanted to go to war with Russia sooner than later, because if Russia developed their train system, modernized it basically, then Germany would have no chance in a war against them. So that's why a lot of people in Germany, a lot of the military officials, wanted to go to war with Russia sooner than later.
More information than I needed to know, but all right.
No, it's really I've been learning a lot about it lately, actually.
Are you like a historical buff or something?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That stuff is all right.
No, but there's a really neat channel. I recommend you check it out. Called The Great War, and basically it's history videos every week for the next for the 4 years since the 100-year anniversary of World War One, and every week the guy gives an update on basically what happened that 1 week 100 years ago in World War One.
Yeah, we've been watching those in our history class, actually.
Oh, sweet! No, awesome. Really glad. Yeah, it totally deserves.
No, it's actually really cool because he's like,
so
this week, 100 years ago.
YouTube is your teacher now. Your teachers are too lazy to actually give you textbooks, and they're like, "Watch this YouTube video."
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Did
go
you
and,
never
look at my phone.
see any videos in your history classes on historical subjects?
Documentaries.
Yeah, that's what this guy basically is doing. Except he has this interesting project that he's doing for YouTube on YouTube. Why not?
It's a good way to get more like in-depth information that we don't actually learn in class, just to get a more backstory.
Yeah, no,
and they're only like 8 minutes long.
Basically, people fought people and people died, and no one knows why they were fighting. All right.
Actually, what are you talking? Actually, we know in detail of why people were fighting. You should watch the series. It would actually explain. Makes it more sense to you.
Fight. Really? Do you really know why they were fighting? You were told why they were fighting. You don't know why they were fighting.
Oh no. Okay, if you want, that's when you want to get into the Well, if we want to get into the definition of knowing, we don't know anything. There were lessons learned from, it's like, at the end of World War II, the Allies responded very differently than the end of World War One, because the end of World War One was the setup for World War II. So people did actually pay attention, try to learn from their mistakes.
All the sanctions against Germany and Japan, or like what?
Oh, Germany.
Germany.
Mean World War One?
Yeah, World War One, because everyone blamed World War One on Germany, so Germany had a ton of debt to all these other countries.
Plenty of sanctions and reprimands and ridiculousness.
So then Hitler came along, and he was able to gain the popularity of the poor people, which is basically everyone in Germany, because everyone was poor because they were getting.
You don't know how
I-
bored I
that's
am.
not-
I have a blank
I
face
wouldn't
right now.
say that's exactly what happened, but it's kind of similar idea. Yeah, basically, how the Allies dealt with Germany after World War One gave the environment for Hitler to thrive in.
I fucking hate history, and you guys are talking about history. It's so.
I don't know why you hate history so much. It's such good fodder for games.
I play futuristic games. I don't care about the past. Fuck the past.
Well, that's your loss, I guess.
It is. So
If you
then
don't learn
it's
from
fine.
history, you're doomed to repeat it. That's
The
why you
stream
keep.
is getting
That's why you
all,
keep playing the Call of Duty games. Like, man, these games are gay. You play them from whatever Treyarch, the guys that
These
you
streams
hate.
are-
You keep playing Treyarch games. You keep hating them, but you don't learn from your history.
No, actually, it's because I play lots of games because I have a lot of time. Anyways, the stream is actually breaking up right now. Our server is taking a dump. So let's wrap this up real fast. The last thing I want to talk about. Well, okay, we just covered Battlefield versus Call of Duty, and we went through all this history, a big history lesson there. We actually didn't talk much about Call of Duty. So Infinite Warfare is set in the future. Apparently, there is another group that's basically humans have spread out over the solar system, and obviously there's still humans on Earth, but these humans that are these radicals that are living outside of Earth decide to like conquer all the planets and start coming towards Earth, try to conquer Earth as well.
Is there evil robot
Game is
Kevin
this?
Spacey?
No, there isn't. This is Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
And they mentioned a couple things. I just want to mention a couple things that they mentioned. So there's like parts of the game have seamless loading where you can jump into your plane, fly to a mission, jump out of your plane, do your mission, do the story, jump back into the plane, and fly back to your base. And there's no load screen. It's all seamless. And I thought that's a
How?
big improvement.
That's like there's a couple other games, but the one I played is parts of Assassin's Creed 3 and then Assassin's Creed Black Flag. The one set in the Caribbean is
yeah,
the same
you're right.
thing. Like you just
Yeah.
you're at the dock, you jump
You
on
get
your
onto
ship,
your ship and then you sail
you know,
around, you jump
sail
off.
out,
Yeah.
jump off wherever you want. Same concept.
Yeah, I remember that.
The No Man's Sky is doing that.
Oh, you
There's
know
a
what?
couple
I
out
want
there
to talk about No Man's Sky, but let's wait till No Man's Sky comes out. Wait, is it out yet? No, it's not.
No, it's not out yet. It comes out.
Was it June?
I want to say mid-June.
No,
I'm not 100% positive, but
it's either June or
not out yet.
November.
It's still, like-
Those two dates are in my head. I
no,
don't
it's summer. It's definitely summer.
know. All right. Yeah, we'll talk about it when the game comes out and see some like more stuff, more reviews. So the last thing I want to do right now is let's go through the Assassin's Creed trailer. So I'm gonna toss that up right now. Have you guys seen this before?
I have.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Well, okay. Let's just talk about it. The trailer's playing right now. We can just talk over the trailer. There's no audio, anyways. What did you guys think?
I thought it
Hype
was
after
cool.
you. Oh, okay, go ahead, Tom.
I mean, that's my basic.
Questions, comments,
I-
concerns?
Lots of
All the above.
concerns.
Yeah. Like, as far as a movie, or as far as a video game adaptation, or as far as an Assassin's Creed adaptation?
Give us all of your opinions then.
Okay, how about this? The trailer does nothing to dissuade me that this movie will follow in the trend of other video game adaptations.
Right. Exactly. It looks like a decent enough movie to where I won't feel bad for spending money to go see it.
It reminds me of the Prince of Persia trailers. Yeah, honestly, anyway, in that respect, it's like, oh, this looks like a kind of a movie that wants to be a video game or whatever.
See, I didn't even really get that. Like, if you just look at it, I could see people watching this trailer and not even realizing that it's based on a video game.
Oh, I disagree.
There are certain scenes like where they're standing on the rooftop right there, you just passed, where they just like raise their arms up for some reason, and that's just stuff they do in the game. That's like there. The the leap of faith from
but
the
again,
church at the end.
like that's from the video game. You've seen that in the video game, so therefore you
sure.
But like,
so you're saying that
someone who watches the trailer that doesn't realize it's a video game, which may be few and far between, but like it doesn't feel like a
right.
video
It doesn't
game
hit
movie.
them as
I do
like
disagree. This
Tomb
reminds me
Raider
a lot of the Prince of Persia trailer, and just another like I would bet my dad would
Are you
watch
saying
this
that's a
and
good
he would
thing or a bad
assume
thing,
it's
though?
based off something like a video game or a comic, one or the other.
Are you saying that you mentioned Prince of Persia twice? Are you saying that's a good thing or a bad thing? Because
It's a bad thing. Well, Prince of Persia wasn't a good movie and wasn't a good video game adaptation. It wasn't among the worst, but it wasn't good. I mean, there's. Can any
not
of you
the
guys
worst.
think of a good video game movie adaptation?
The first Mortal Kombat.
No, I'm like an actual good movie.
The first Mortal Kombat.
Okay,
That is a
First Mortal Kombat
masterpiece.
is an actual bad movie, but it's it's one of the better.
It is a masterpiece. That
And
will
it
stand the
had
test
the
of
great-
time.
had
Oh
great
my
music.
god! You need to watch it again. You watch it and be like, "Oh, this is embarrassing."
That movie is awesome.
It's
Shut your dirty mouth.
it's
I
a lot
remember-
better than
I
Mortal
remember-
Kombat Annihilation. I'll give you that.
it is.
Oh man, Annihilation was so bad with the animalities and the CG that they
Yeah.
couldn't do.
The Halloween costumes.
Oh man,
No,
But the first
seriously.
movie wasn't that was better, but not really. It's still not a good movie.
No, I don't know. I mean, the first Tomb Raider wasn't absolutely horrible.
yeah, I was about to say Tomb Raider as well. Tomb Raider,
There isn't. There is
It was
no
not
like
terribly.
amazing, perfect, good movie.
They haven't
There
made
is
a
there is
movie.
actually there is a good game adaptation movie, and I think it was extra credits mentioned in this, but I'd seen it way before, and that's actually the Clue movie. That's actually a good game adaptation into a movie.
But that's like that's
Oh,
not like
true.
a video game movie. Though.
No, it was a board game, but they actually did.
yeah.
It was a game that was adapted into a movie, and it actually was a pretty entertaining movie. It was a good
I've
movie.
never seen that.
A lot of people have
Was it
because
called
really
Clue?
it was small,
Yeah,
but it was
it's called Clue. I
it
think.
felt
I have no idea.
it felt like the board game, but it didn't feel like it's hard to describe it. It felt right. The things make sense.
It's got
It was a
comedy.
good movie that had lots of these cool elements from the board game.
But back to Assassin's
But again,
Creed.
they don't make that many video game movie
They
adaptations.
take quite a few.
There's been what 2 Hitman movies?
No, there's been like 4 Hitmans. There's been
4 Hitman movies.
2
Oh my God.
Tomb Raiders.
2
The
Tomb
Super
Raiders.
Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's like infamous. Yeah,
You know, the 2 Mortal Kombats. I mean, there's
Well, the Warcraft's coming out as well.
World of Warcraft's coming out.
It's consistently Max Payne. Max Payne was like I thought out of any game that could actually make a pretty decent movie. Max Payne was one of the best ones to do, and they completely fucked it up.
See, and I think that Assassin's Creed is a really good choice. The overarching story in Assassin's Creed
Mhm.
can be adapted very easily to film, I think, and
Assassins and Templars and
Right,
aliens
and
and,
it's kind
Abstergo
of
and
The Raelians and the Skintillions and the Reptilians.
it's kind of Matrixy
I don't know what that was.
as far as you plug into a machine, but instead of living in this like fake world, you're reliving your DNA memories.
That's fine. Inception was fine with that kind of stuff. That's
exactly,
not a problem.
and so that exactly, and people loved Inception, so that people will accept that type of.
But it has to be
Not
done
necessarily
right.
gimmick,
Inception didn't make a show out of it. It was like, all right, here's a suitcase that lets us do this thing. All right, let's get into the cool
Exactly,
parts.
and that's
But they're like, have this machine with Michael Fassbender strapped and he's dancing around like a ballerina. It's like, oh,
I
for
can't-
fuck's sake.
I can't tell. So
looks
see,
ridiculous.
He's talking about the Animus. So for people who don't know, so the Animus is what actually lets you harness your DNA and live these memories. And
in the game,
and
the Animus was just a table and had
it's
apparatus
table,
around your head.
It's very similar to like the Matrix, except instead of a needle going into you, it's just like
like stuff scanning
energy
your
waves,
brain.
like whatever.
Yeah.
And in this, I can't tell if they were afraid that people thought they were going to be copying the Matrix. So
I think
they
that's
had-
exactly it.
So they had to switch it up, or if they were trying to get the popularity of the whole VR crave, or if
I
they
disagree with
they
the
didn't
Matrix.
have faith that in the Animus memory were going to be entertaining enough that they thought they had to keep splicing back to real world and showing people actually physically moving and not just laying there.
I agree
know.
exactly with that. That is why they did it.
You think they were afraid?
I don't think they were afraid of the Matrix comparison, because there's plenty of movies have done similar stuff. Avatar, for example.
Well, exactly.
But they were so like, people are just going to get bored seeing this lab scene with a guy lying down on a table. We have to have him going around because this is a video game movie.
Show that, then? Why even show that? You show him lay down. You show him the lights turn on, and then you do some weird transition where he's like, you're going into his mind, which is then loading the program, right? And then you focus. You don't need to flash back to him laying on the table, unless if you maybe once or twice just to show him there. But you don't need to make a scene out of it. You just you focus on the memory. But the studio
executives think they do because they think the audience is stupid. And while it is stupid, maybe not as stupid as they think it is.
It's just like you're afraid that part's boring. Well, then just don't show that part. Just focus on the memories.
I agree.
Anyways. So it's that part right there was kind of a major turn off for me. The music choice was.
Oh yeah, the music. Oh my god,
that was.
There's a YouTube video where they dub over
there's multiple
the music
versions
of the first
that
game.
use, and so I know why they did it. Well, all right, I know why they chose that style of trailer. Is because
we're talking about the trailer, yeah.
The most recent games have done that. They've taken a remixed pop song or famous song, and overlaid it on top of the gameplay footage, and it's usually like the first trailer that comes out. Yeah, because the first trailer is just showing you the new graphics and just kind of the general gameplay. You're not getting a whole lot about the story, so it doesn't really matter. And so I can see why they did that. But
this is the first trailer, so
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, why the hell would you choose a Kanye song when you're advertising this to a bunch of gamers who are usually they're part of kind of that group of people on the internet that
they're hipsters? What?
Not hipster. Like I can't even think of it, but like.
Well, no. How about use the music of the series that the fans would be more familiar with along those lines?
But again, the trailers did it, and a lot of the trailers are fine. It's not the fact that they had a pop song in there; it was the fact that they had a Kanye song in there, and so you have all these gamers.
A pop song would have been bad either as well.
Some of the game trailers work just fine, and but again, you're selling this to all these gamers who are online keyboard warriors, and I hate his music, but regardless if you actually hate his music or not, that's like the cool thing to do on the internet is bash Kanye, right? So why
I didn't even know it was his song until you mentioned it.
That is correct. That is true, actually.
Yeah, so why would you put him in the trailer if you're trying to sell this to a bunch of gamers? Like, that's what...
I think their media team definitely failed. Their social media team failed.
I assume because the filmmakers don't have that much control, and the studio is calling most of the shots.
Oh yeah, I have absolutely no doubt it was the studio that greenlit that trailer, that approved that trailer to be sent to the public.
And also put in the crazy jumping around apparatus thing for the Animus.
Well, there's just two things I want to see from this movie, and one of them is I want to see I think I mentioned this to you, Nick. I want to see whoever Fassbender plays. I want to see him desync. I want to see him travel, wander away from the path of what's supposed to happen, and I want to see him desync in the Animus. And the second thing I want to see is at the very end of the trailer, there's a leap of faith. I want to see him do a leap of faith off that church or whatever it was, and land in a small pile of hay. I want to see that in the movie and have him survive and just jump right out.
They have. I mean, that's.
Oh, actually, I got an interesting question about what they could do. Now, you're supposed to be reliving the memories of your ancestor with this whole device, this gimmicky.
Yes.
So basically, Michael Fassbender himself is going to be depicted in the role of his ancestor, but his character is experiencing these, but he doesn't have any choice. He's not making any of these choices because these are the memories, right?
So the way in the game, the way it's explained is. For whatever reason, when they have the DNA memories, but they can't just access them, they pretty much have to have someone play them out, and they're able to then record them and then analyze them. And so the way it works is because it's a computer program trying to compile this memory, that's what he was talking about with the desyncing and synchronization. Is the closer you act to the memory, the easier it is for the program to generate it. Whereas if you start acting completely opposite of the memory, like you go somewhere that the guy didn't go, so you have no idea what it looks like, the computer has to try to render that.
Okay, so
Like,
it's going to make sense in the movie if like Michael Fassbender does something like his character, he is reliving his ancestors' memories, but he does something that his ancestor didn't do. That's okay.
Right. So let's say there's a major character, right? That like is let's say that chick, just because I know it looks like she's going to be one of the major parts in both the current and the past. Let's say in the very first time he loads up that program, he kills her.
Yeah, he murders her.
And then 2 seconds later, she's supposed to be telling him something that tells him what to do, like what his mission is. Well, now that's not there anymore. And so the computer's going to go, error logic, don't know what to do, I'm freaking out, and crash.
That's exactly
how you
what I want to see. That's exactly what I want to see in the movie.
And so
I want to see him do that and be like, oh, I fucked up.
So in the Animus, you're not exactly doing the memories like beat by beat, but you're hitting the major points for the computer program to keep up.
But
and
you get achievements the closer you are to it.
Yeah, but it's so that was.
I want to see that in the movie. I want to see achievements pop up. That would sell me.
I saw a meme where it was, for the WoW movie, it was like, get in like after the first 10 minutes, just get you've been disconnected from the server error message pop up on screen.
In the WoW movie, they need to just go need to find a rock and just mine it for like a couple hours. That would be awesome.
Running around and just like with a pickaxe and just mining minerals, picking flowers for herbs.
Anyway,
what's
Assassin's
the computer
Creed,
called?
The Animus? Are you talking about?
It's like
Creed? Yeah, Animus.
Yeah, it's Animus.
404 Animus .exe has stopped working.
Yeah, pretty much. And so it looks like it'll be a decent enough movie. It looks like it'll be not a bad video game movie. People will know it's a video game movie. Now, as far as whether or not it's a good Assassin's Creed,
look like that.
I don't think so. But whether or not it's going to be a good quote unquote Assassin's Creed movie, I mean, we won't know until we see it.
I agree. I'm going to save my. Yeah. I'm going to save my judgment for when the movie comes out. And the trailer looks meh, whatever, right?
It is.
Trailers can be good or bad, but
go watch it with the original, like actual Assassin's Creed. There's multiple versions out there by this point. Pick any of them.
Yep.
Where they put the actual Assassin's Creed soundtrack over the trailer. A million times better.
All right. Well, just as a last point on this, I'm looking up the ratings for the for video game movies, like Rotten Tomatoes scores. The Angry Birds movie is the highest so far with 63%. Then Final Fantasy at 44%. So when it comes to video game movies, they compare for Rotten Tomatoes at least how their score.
There's a Final Fantasy movie.
It's not doing it. Yeah, Spirits Within from 2001.
Oh, that's okay,
well, is there two?
I think this has potential.
Advent Children came out afterwards, and that was just.
Let's wrap this up, guys. We're running out of time here. I just want to mention one thing that I forgot to mention. Battlefield has the most likes of any trailer on YouTube, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has the most dislikes of any trailer on YouTube.
And
that's funny, isn't it?
That is internet culture hard at work, though.
That is 100%. That is it.
It's this game's so cool. Go like it, and so everyone goes and likes it.
And you know what? Call of Duty is probably going to sell 2 or 3 times as many copies as Battlefield is.
Exactly.
They're going to get Game of the Year, like highest selling game of 2016, like they always do every year. Anyways, so we'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and that's it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.